Okay, we're making healthy holiday body butter. Great healthy products with our Young Living Infused in the healthy body butter. So we did shea butter. Okay. Girls, just call out the next one. The next one is what? Is it cocoa? Is the next one?
That's what we're doing. That one?
The second one, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. Is it body?
Mint chocolate?
It's the one before that. Right, cocoa butter.
And then coconut oil?
Okay, so it's quarter cup of shea butter, quarter cup of cocoa butter.
Quarter cup of coconut.
All right. And then a quarter cup, so all a quarter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm using, actually I'm using wild cocoa butter, and the ones that I have are little like wafers that are looking. It's organic, so it's very important. You want to definitely make sure that it's pure. And this is a food grade one, so actually my guests just tasted them, so it's edible. But we're using it for body butter. So kind of think of a whipped lotion. So I'm doing a quarter cup of that. Okay. And what we're doing, just so you know, is we're using a mason jar and we're melting the shea butter and the body butter into the mason jar, okay? Okay. And then, so it's gently melt all the ingredients except the jojoba into the boiler, and then once it's done, then we're going to also put in the fridge for a few minutes, and then we're going to use a hand mixer to whip it all up so it'll be extra fluffy. What I find works really well, because we don't want this to get hard in the mason jar, so I found pouring it into the, what do you call that thing? Pouring it into the mixer, the metal mixer, and putting the metal mixing bowl into the refrigerator is key. So see how that works? So you just make sure that it's all, okay, oops, that's my, there we go. So you're just going to mix it until it's all melted. Only, I would say it takes like a couple of minutes to melt. And then what I do is I pour it into the metal mixing bowl, put the mixing bowl in the fridge. That way I can start mixing it later instead of trying to get it out of here because it'll get hard. Right. And then you have to try to get it out of the mason jar. So that's just the trick, okay? So what's nice about this, folks, is this is a organic version, right? There's nothing, there's no parabens, there's no petrochemicals in this. And what's nice is this is going to be our base to our body butter lotion. And then we're going to add some Young Living essential oils that we like to it that will enhance and support our skin. So what's good about that is you're not getting any parabens on the skin. You're not getting any toxic chemicals on your skin. So keep that in mind. And these are healthy homemade gifts that you can give, you know, your family and friends instead of giving them some of the toxic lotions that are out on the market that have parabens, toxic chemicals, and then they have, when they use the word fragrance, just so you know, they can add up to 100 different chemicals to that word fragrance. So it's not regulated. So be aware of that, you know, a lot of times folks are saying to me, you know, I've got all these health challenges, and I ask them, well, what are they putting on the largest organ, their skin? And they kind of look at me funny, like, what does that have to do with my health challenge? And again, it has a lot to do with it because your skin is your largest external organ, and everything you put on it goes into your bloodstream. So for me, like, I can't even go into those stores in the mall that have those synthetic fragrant lotions because my throat will restrict.
Wow.
So my body's saying it doesn't want those chemicals. And I always thought I was allergic to lavender because when I would go in those stores and I'd smell the lavender perfume or the lavender lotions, my throat would restrict. Little did I know that's lavender, the synthetic lavender. It's not real lavender. And now when I use my Young Living lavender, I use it every night on the back of my neck and I'm fine. So it just shows you how many synthetic chemicals are in our beauty care products, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get out the mixer, and so this is what I was meaning before, my mixer, and I'm going to pour this into here, so we're good, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for a few minutes. Okay, so make sure you're careful with this because it's very hot. And I'm going to just pour it into my mixer. So see how it is totally liquefied now? Okay. All right, and I'm just going to put it in the fridge for a few minutes so it just starts to harden again, because that's the goal, to get it more solid. And then what we're going to do is we're going to whip it in the mixer so that it becomes like a whipped body butter. Okay, so once we get to that part, I'll do part 2 of this, and you'll get to see the finished product. So stay tuned.